What is up, everybody? It is Alex from Heavy New York calling from the quarantine zone again, and this time we are here with Eric and Christopher of Eyes Wide Open. Thanks for being here today. It's great to have you all here.
Great being here.
Yeah,
Thanks.
for sure.
Yeah, it's awesome to have you here. So, the newest album, Through Life and Death, coming out very soon this November. Just want to talk about like how the making of this album was in terms of the songwriting and the recording. Was there like a preconceived idea of what you wanted this to sound like, or was there a lot of improvising? How did Through Life and Death see the light of day?
I think like most of our songwriting process is me and Christopher going to the studio, and usually one of us have a riff going on, and we take it from there basically. Lyric wise, we kind of adapt after we do the foundation of the song. Um, and Usually it comes with some reference to what we're going through at the time, or like video games we're playing or movies we've seen and stuff like that.
What video games have you been playing lately?
Well, as you're gonna see tomorrow with the End of Days premiere, that has a Death Stranding kind of theme.
Awesome.
So I was really into that game for a while. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of games going on for me.
Yeah. What else are you gonna do in these times of quarantine, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, for
exactly.
sure.
Yep. And do you feel that the first three singles that you released off of this album, them being Devastation, Burnham, and Eraser, like that this is maybe a good representation of the entirety of Through Life and Death, or is that just three little tastes of it?
Feels like it's kind of the start, really.
Yeah.
Right. I think End of Days, which is coming tomorrow, has that track feels kind of eyes wide open in so many ways. Like it has all the fast part, the slow parts, the guitar stuff, and like versatile vocals. I think that is one of our stronger parts. Like Eric has both the soft voice, the screaming, the singing, and all that kind of stuff. So
And you led me perfectly into the next question, actually, because like I was listening to this album, and like, is there kind of like a formula or a sound that you're trying to stick with, or is there plenty of room for experimentation in the songwriting process as well?
We kind of experiment a lot. We have our, what do you say, like ground sound or the foundation of Eyes Wide Open, but we try to always go a little bit further with the sound and with the diversity of the tracks, from like harder songs to softer songs and all in between. But there's always kind of the aggression and the melody that speaks to us.
yeah,
So
yeah, definitely.
You mentioned that like a lot of these songs are inspired by personal experiences that you all went through. And I mean, how do you, because we're not always living in the studio. We go out and we live our lives. How do you manage to keep track of these situations in order to translate them into music? Do you just have to carry a guitar on you everywhere you go or something like that?
we have a system for that. Actually, we when we get a riff in our heads, we usually just sing them into the phone.
Yeah, you should hear our voice recorders.
Yeah, sounds like crap.
I'm not
But
even kidding. I've been trying. Like, I think you could. Don't lose those recordings and keep them on you at all times, because I think it's very easy to blackmail musicians with those.
Definitely. Yeah, Devastation, I remember it was the first song that we wrote for the album, and that, like the main melody, I have a voice recording of that, like driving into the studio and just hearing this melody in my head. So like, I have to stop and pick up my phone and sing this, so I don't forget it.
Do you ever have to do it in public?
Yeah. I'm not sure.
I usually don't do that.
You don't practice the screaming
No,
in
but
public.
I have like riffs going on in my head at the time I'm at the store or something. I have to like go out and sit in the car, like just memorizing it to or recording it to the phone.
Well, I've always said I'm never going onto the sub. I'm never going on public transportation with a musician ever again. when yeah.
Is that so? Seems like a good story.
I mean, if you're on a bus with somebody and they just think of a riff idea and a breakdown idea, and they're doing death growls on a crowded bus during rush hour, during rush hour when everybody is seeing red, it's not exactly somebody you want to. I was like, I don't know this guy. I don't know this guy.
Yeah, vocalists and drummers are the worst.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, well, if you bring a drum set on public transportation, you're just gonna get shot. But is there ever a time where maybe like a lyrical idea or a lyrical concept could maybe influence the sound of the music itself, or does there always need to be music before any lyrics come into the fold?
It's usually the music that starts, and we get the feeling from how the music sounds and tie it together with the lyrics. But there's been times it's been like vice versa. So it really depends. We can sit and talk about lyrics or like stuff that we want to write about for hours at a time, and sometimes it's to fit a song and just to start talking about different song ideas and stuff. So it isn't like one formula to create a song.
Yeah. And a lot of the times, as you said, we like go back to do the music first usually, and then the lyrics, but then we go back to the song and change some stuff from that, because I think the vocals help shape the song a lot, so usually you have to change it in some ways.
Yeah.
Do you want the lyricism to be open to interpretation, or being that you guys do write from a personal place, you maybe want the listener to sort of see things from your point of view?
I think it's more the listener's interpretation of the songs. We try to write a lot with what's this called? I don't get the word.
Like an open. It kind of feels like the songs are. They have a subject, but they are inside of the subject. They are really open to kind of make your own version out of it.
Yeah.
If you understand what I mean.
Yeah, you're able to be both very literal and very metaphorical with it.
Metaphorical, thanks. That's the word I was looking for.
When it comes, one thing I wanted to ask is, I've interviewed so many bands from Sweden at this point. I feel like I've just interviewed the entire Swedish population at this point. But like, obviously, I've interviewed, the In Flames and the At the Gates and the Soilworks and bands like that. But I've noticed that like Sweden has a very diverse music scene as well. First of all, my favorite pop group being Kent is from there. And
oh yeah,
yep, everybody knows who they are there, but nobody knows who they are in the States.
Yeah.
I guess they make songs in the like native tongue, and I guess that doesn't reach the whole globe.
Yeah, it works for Rammstein, but one Swedish band that I actually maybe have compared you a little bit to is Blindside. I felt like kind of like reminiscent of that in a way, if you're familiar with them. Like, in terms of like your style, is there kind of like a scene in Sweden that you're all like affiliated with, or like are you playing with mostly like black and death metal bands?
No, it's mostly like melodic metal bands and metalcore, I think. But yeah, we're kind of used to getting compared to like these old melodic death metal bands like In Flames, for example, or Soilwork and these kind of reference. But I guess like for gigs and stuff, there's a pretty big market with metalcore and melodic metal bands.
Yeah, the difference is starting to become less and less noticeable, and I think that you guys have a lot more melody, which is very impressive, but it also makes it very distinct. Like I've showed Eyes Wide Open to a couple of my fellow American bands, and they did not think you were from Sweden. They thought you were from Massachusetts. So.
Oh really?
Yeah, that or Florida. Like they thought, oh, did this band like play clubs with Under Oath or something like that? So. It's really fascinating. And do you think that maybe that can allow you to play with different styles of bands as well? Like, can you see yourselves playing with more rock oriented bands and more heavy metal oriented bands as well?
I think so.
Yeah.
Like, which show have we done with? I think like heavy metal bands. We've played with some. It was maybe some time ago, but trying to think of it. But I've had that thought and did that kind of thinking. But we played with Hatebreed. That's definitely not heavy metal, but that's like something else, and that worked really good.
I think like all the way from rock to like black metal, it works because we are kind of diverse in our music ourselves.
Yeah.
We have like the harder, more old school, not maybe death metal, but around there, and all the way to the softer like. I don't know, pop metal or how you put it. But there's a big diversity with clean singing and growling and screaming. So I think we can go with most bands in the rock scene.
Yeah, you're the smorgasbord of Swedish music. I could see you play with. I could see you play
That
with.
should make it to our next bio.
Yeah, please do, because I
That was
could.
really good actually.
Well, you could play with a Refused or Cult of Luna, and you could also play with an In Flames or At the Gates. So I think it works in both worlds. Before it's.
Can we quote you on that?
But
The
if you,
smorgasbord of Sweden.
you,
That is
you know,
great.
please, you have full permission to use it. I've never been quoted before, so this would be. I would be honored if you use that saying. I just totally came up with that on the spot too.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And the final question I wanted to ask you is what is in store for the future of Eyes Wide Open? What are the plans with this new album coming? Is there a chance you could bring Eyes Wide Open to the States? Please.
Yeah, we're working on tour schedules, and right now it's the release party and the release gig in Karlstad, Sweden, together with Evergrey, and yeah, that's like the first stop, and then we're trying to set up a tour for next year, and I really hope we can come to the States because that's a big dream for us too. Um, and I hope we can get some band to go with, have a like a bigger support tour or something that would make it easier for us to cement ourselves in the States.
Well, there's plenty of bands you could play with, I think, and I think you'll fit the bill easily one way or another. So.
Yeah, thanks, man.
But thank you guys so much, everybody. We are here with Eyes Wide Open. Be sure to check out their brand new album coming out this November, Through Life and Death. This is Alex from Heavy New York, and we will see you next time.